Well, the end of the year is fast approaching, and with it, the end to a very divisive season of Limbus Company. Regardless of whether you enjoyed it or not, no one can deny Project Moon have once again delivered another masterclass on quality. Now, nothing is perfect, and this season was far from it, with many citing the Heishous as the most negative factor. And that's why this video is here, as we go over some of my closing thoughts in anticipation of Season 7.
아니, 그 글자는 그렇게 읽는 게 아니라 요시대라고 읽는 거다.
I have been known to glaze Limbus at times, and that should come as no surprise. It's a game worthy of glazing, and with that said, we're going to start with my hottest take of the video. The Heishous were amazing for the game.
Boo! You stink!
I'm going to really need you to hear me out on this one, because it's a bit of a tough sale, like selling deodorant to a Yu-Gi-Oh player. The Heishous are a prime example of an easy to play team. They are very straightforward at a baseline beginner level, and can get more advanced the more you improve at the game. I'll let you know when that's happened for me.
Ha!
With an almost telegraphed beginning turn that leaves you worry-free about how to manage buffing them for the next 3 turns, to powerful strategies that can steamroll your opponents. However, it's not all good. Many believe, myself included, they move away from a core mechanic of the game, and that is status effects. This season's status effect was Rupture, and a lot of the Heishous are not that focused on it. Whilst it's not necessarily a bad thing, it does leave me questioning where they go in the future. Will we see more IDs and teams focus solely on dealing damage? Or will it be back to the roots of making use of gimmicks and statuses? Who's to say? But I will say, the Heishous were a good starting point to see what to improve upon going forward. But now we have to talk about a big negative, the gacha side of this game. And I use this term very loosely now, but it was very clear they wanted you to invest in this team as they released 13 units in one season, all revolving around this. It led to a lot of negative feelings about how pushed they were when we actually got some of the most amazing units alongside them. Not least of all my favourite, but more on that soon.
Oh my god, he's so goddamn cool!
When we look at the factions that were teased beforehand, and the factions teased during, you would have expected them to release some others instead of a random reindeer that was suspiciously in time for Christmas.
Hold up, wait a minute.
And this might be a sign that Project Moon are looking at changing how they release faction-related IDs. At least I hope it is, because, let's be honest, as powerful as they are, as much as you or I may like them, they are pretty boring to play at times. At least last season, with the Blood Fiends, you had to really keep track of their mechanics and gimmicks.
I've never met this man in my life.
Moving away from units for a moment, I want to talk about this season's Canto, Canto 8. It is arguably the best Canto to date, not least of all because it was all about the Hongler himself. Now, whilst I am a firm Canto 6 glazer, I do wish it had what Canto 8 had. Namely, this asshole.
Yeah!
The boss fights alone in this Canto make me rate it so highly. Lei Hong being the biggest proof Project Moon are only going to keep making spectacular bosses. In particular with Lei Hong, I think I have finally found the perfect way to describe him. He is either the ultimate pushover, or the biggest skill check in the game, with no in between. Not to mention, he looks eerily familiar.
Oh, good. Why, that's very good. Yes, I like that.
Which leads us expertly back to talking about characters, and in particular, my favourite, Mersault. And this season goes to show that if you are somehow able to look past the Heishou, you'll see some really fantastic units, and fairly balanced too. Now, let's talk about the other elephant in the room. Events. Limbus is somewhat light when it comes to events. You can often go months with new releases and no real ways to enjoy them besides the Mirror Dungeon. They re-released Refraction Railway 1, so here's hoping they do it more often going forward. Not to say it was good, mind you, but it was something at the very least. And it wouldn't be an event section without mentioning the Intervalos. In case you're unfamiliar with them, they're basically prologues and side quests that tie into the main story. And eventually, they'll receive bot gags, which is basically the exact same thing, but this time with a hard mode. I was a particular fan of this season's spring cultivation because it tried something completely new with one of its nodes. And now,
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
for the main topic, and what I am most excited to talk about, the long-awaited Arknights collab. And let me tell you,
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
I couldn't begin to describe to you the copium I'm huffing for the near non-existent chance it comes back, once again showing that this season was all about exceptional boss fights, and they did not disappoint. The last night still holds the title of my favourite boss fight. The story was great, the boss fights were challenging, and most of all, there were only 4 egos. Wait, only 4? To be completely honest, it was a little blinder than collab side of things, and the egos aren't really all that good, unless your name is Gregor.
이 검은, 이 명예는, 이 영광은 이빨이지 않을 테니.
I saved this point for last because it's the shortest point. The music. It was all peak. What did you expect? It's Studio EIM. Look, at the end of the day, if you love Limbus Company, chances are you enjoyed this season, faults and all. And it was a rather enjoyable season. It had a purpose and it served it well. I just hope they take some serious lessons from this. Malphau single-handedly ensured the remaining Heishous were released in such a way they're effectively unplayable. I spoke about this in another video, so please watch that for the explanation, and definitely not because I'm too lazy to recap everything. Okay, I am too lazy. So how would I really sum up Season 6? Very whelming. For all the highs it had, there were some lows, and they're becoming more and more noticeable. But there's hope there too. Hope that they take the feedback they receive when it comes to expectations, and especially the hope they don't release the final Heishou ID as the very first banner in Canto 9. But it would be pretty funny now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Alright, I've yapped long enough, so you deserve an end to this video. Let me know how you felt about Season 6 as a whole. Did I miss anything? Are you excited for Season 7? Will KJH finally self-insert as the head? Take care. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.